Friends, understand this. In the spirit realm, nothing is random. Every single event carries either a blessing or a curse. Right now, countless people are under spiritual attack because they are missing the critical warning signs God sends. Today, I have an urgent warning for you about specific smells that aren't just unpleasant. They are spiritual alarms. You need to know how the dark spiritual world operates. Those, deep in witchcraft, are relentless strategists. They dissect the spirit realm like ruthless scientists, constantly seeking weak points, vulnerable entryways into your life and your family's safety. What you simply detect in the unseen realm is never just a coincidence. It's a clear signal of what dark forces are attempting to gain access to your home and loved ones. Think about it. In the spirit world, you are either fully shielded by God's covering or dangerously exposed to demonic influence. That weird smell, you might dismiss it, but spiritually, it could be a direct attack, targeting your position, your peace, everything. Remember Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of God. When there are cracks, gaps in your spiritual defenses, the enemy will slip through, leaving behind signs you can detect. That's precisely why God gave us explicit warnings in Scripture, not just as information, but as vital protection for survival. God is intensely intentional about spiritual signals, and believe me, so is the devil. Now prepare for an uncomfortable truth most churches are afraid to speak. Smell number 1, sulfur. The smell of sulfur, the stench of the pits of hell, is probably the most well-known smell when it comes to demonic activity. Sulfur is a main ingredient in many of the rituals used to curse believers with spiritual bondage. If you've never smelled sulfur, it reeks like rotten eggs or the sharp scent of matches. When this smell appears in your house from nowhere, watch out. This is a clear sign that someone is hexing you. Don't say it's just your imagination. That's what the enemy wants you to think. He wants you to normalize spiritual warfare signals. He wants you to glamorize your spiritual blindness. He wants you to think it's just a smell. But some of you are smelling the very odor of your captivity. You've been targeted by hell without knowing it. Today I'm calling you out of ignorance into God's marvelous discernment. What you smell becomes a doorway. When sulfur appears, the spirit of fear, confusion, and torment enters. Witches pray over substances before using them against believers. They chant incantations and assign spirits because they understand what many believers don't. Smells carry spiritual frequencies. Some of you need to cleanse your home not for comfort, but because of infiltrating spirits. Smell number 2, rotting or decay. When you notice the putrid smell of rotting garbage, decaying meat, or something sour and fetid with no source, watch out. This isn't just unpleasant. It's a spiritual alarm. In the spirit realm, decay and putrid smells are connected with death. These definitely suggest the presence of death spirits sent to disrupt your life. They become attached to you and mess with your mind, not necessarily your body. The smell of rot and decay symbolizes that someone is spiritually burying you. You may have heard ministers suggest burying items in cemeteries to represent an enemy's demise. Well, perhaps someone is doing the same to you, and this smell is God's warning system alerting you. This is a sign demanding your immediate attention. Decay attracts more death spirits into your home. Wonder why you feel heavy depression, oppressive thoughts, or mental confusion. Could it be you're ignoring the spiritual signs of attack? Don't say it's just your nose playing tricks. That's exactly what the enemy wants you to believe while he plants spiritual death in your household. The stench of decay is a spiritual GPS beacon saying, "This house is open for demonic habitation." Smell number 3, burnt hair or fabric. The third smell is burnt hair or burnt fabric when there's absolutely no source of fire in sight. This smell is usually linked to effigies and puppet magic. Your enemy has created a doll in your likeness, and is burning it to destroy you. This is warfare at its most direct. Someone is intentionally targeting your very essence through ceremonial burning. When you smell burning with no explanation, it's a clear signal that someone is trying to burn away your divine purpose, your spiritual protection, your very identity. This isn't coincidence. It's coordinated spiritual attack. The enemy wants to incinerate your confidence, your faith, your spiritual covering. While you're wondering about the smell, forces of darkness are actively working to reduce your spiritual authority to ashes. Smell. Number 4, candles, when none are burning. The fourth warning sign is the smell of candles when you're not burning any. This isn't your imagination. It's a spiritual invasion. When your home suddenly smells like candles with no visible source, someone is working powerful candle magic against you. In the spirit realm, this phantom smell indicates ritual activity targeting your household specifically. This mysterious candle scent reveals that someone has lit candles with your name, your image, or items from your home, binding you to their will through powerful rituals. While you're oblivious, thinking it's just a pleasant fragrance, your spiritual authority is being systematically dismantled through ceremonial power. Satan doesn't announce his strategies. He disguises them as harmless sensations while conducting spiritual sabotage. Hell doesn't respect your church attendance. Hell respects your spiritual discernment. You can be called pastor, prophet, or evangelist. But if you ignore these warning signs, you're no threat to the enemy. The sons have tried casting out devils without proper authority, and demons responded, "Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are you?" They weren't clothed in true spiritual perception. These smells matter. Smell. Number 5, feces. The fifth smell, as disgusting as it is to discuss, is the stench of feces, especially dog or cat excrement when you don't have pets. Someone has literally put you in a bottle with feces. And this isn't symbolic, it's real spiritual warfare. This vile practice is done for one purpose: to turn your life into complete garbage. This will slow you down, bring terrible luck, and usher calamity into every area of your existence. This isn't just an unpleasant odor. It's a spiritual signature that someone has cursed your progress, your favor, your very destiny. While you're spraying air freshener thinking it's a plumbing issue, you're actually under targeted attack meant to reduce your life to waste. The enemy is laughing while you ignore the spiritual warning signs God is allowing you to detect through your physical senses. You'll notice your life suddenly feels stagnant. Opportunities disappear. Relationships sour. Prayers seem blocked. All tracing back to something you thought didn't matter. A disgusting smell that actually carried demonic assignment. As blood on doorposts marked Israelites for protection, these foul odor mark people for spiritual infiltration and systematic destruction. Smell number 6, urine or ammonia. The sixth smell that signals intense spiritual warfare is a sharp ammonia or urine odor with no explanation. This isn't a cleaning product or pet accident. It's direct evidence of domination spells targeting you. When this acidic smell appears in your home from nowhere, someone has performed rituals specifically designed to control you, your decisions, your will, and your spiritual authority. This smell is directly linked with dark rituals of dominion and control. Practitioners mark territory spiritually the same way animals urinate to claim domain. Someone wants to spiritually own you, manipulate your choices, and override your God-given free will. While you're wondering about the strange smell, invisible chains of spiritual bondage are being wrapped around your mind and spirit. Have you noticed sudden difficulty making decisions? Finding yourself strangely compliant with toxic people, feeling an invisible weight pressing down on your thoughts? You're experiencing the manifestations of domination spells. The enemy doesn't need your permission if you ignore his warning signs. Your spiritual territory has been marked without your consent, and now someone is claiming ownership. Smell number 7, vinegar. The 7th smell is the sharp scent of vinegar when you haven't been using any. This isn't random. It's evidence of sour jars created against you. These aren't ordinary jars. They're specifically crafted containers filled with vinegar and your personal items designed with the sole purpose of turning your entire life upside down. And they work powerfully. This is direct spiritual sabotage. When you detect unexplained vinegar scent, someone has placed your name, your photo, or items from your home into a jar of vinegar, speaking curses that everything in your life will sour and turn bitter. Your relationships, finances, health, and peace are all targeted through this specific ritual. The effects are devastating. Systematic destruction of everything you've built. Have you noticed your life suddenly seems completely inverted? Good things turn bad. Sweet experiences turn sour. Friendly people become hostile. Financial increase becomes loss. This isn't bad luck or coincidence. It's the manifestation of sour jar curses operating against your divine destiny. The enemy has strategically positioned spiritual acid to corrode your blessings. Smell number 8, moldy or damp. The 8th smell is moldy dampness with no visible moisture source. This isn't random household odor. It's a buildup of negative energy festering around you, growing like spiritual cancer. When this moldy smell appears, someone has strategically planted spiritual decay in your environment, and it's actively multiplying, consuming your blessings, and spreading throughout your spiritual atmosphere. This smell indicates dark energy accumulating in corners of your home, in shadows of your relationships, in hidden areas of your finances, like black mold that spreads unseen behind walls. Spiritual mold grows where you're not looking, creating toxic atmosphere that sickens your spiritual immune system. The stench is your divine warning system activating before complete collapse. Have you felt increasingly heavy, finding it harder to pray, noticing your spiritual sensitivity diminishing? These aren't spiritual growing pains. They're symptoms of mold-like corruption eating away at your spiritual foundation. While you're trying air fresheners, the enemy is establishing colonies of demonic influence throughout your spiritual house. This must be addressed immediately. Smoke your entire home aggressively. Use white sage cedar or go directly to camphor for maximum effect. Mix salt with charcoal, placing it in small bowls throughout your house to absorb negative energy. For powerful protection, grind sunflower seeds and sprinkle them throughout your property. They represent light overcoming darkness. Visualize sun rays creating an impenetrable barrier of light around your home. For reversal, write your enemy's name or enemy of mine on paper with a specific command. I return all this moldy, stagnant energy to you because it does not belong to me. All this corruption is sent back to its source by the power of Christ's blood. Burn this paper with rosemary, thyme, and basil on a charcoal disc. When consumed, throw the ashes far from your home, preferably in running water flowing away from you. This breaks the spiritual connection permanently. Smell number 10, perfumes and body odor. The 10th smell is unexplained perfumes or body odor appearing in your home. This isn't your imagination. It's spiritual evidence of lovebinding. Someone wants to bind themselves to you through powerful rituals. When you detect mysterious fragrances that aren't your products, someone has performed ceremonial binding to create unhealthy soul ties with you without your knowledge or consent. This perfume smell symbolizes one thing. Someone is attempting to create spiritual and emotional chains connecting you to them. They want to control your affections, manipulate your emotions, and direct your life choices through spiritual entanglement. While you're wondering about the strange fragrance, invisible cords are being wrapped around your soul, tethering you to toxic connections. Have you noticed sudden obsessive thoughts about someone? finding yourself inexplicably drawn to a person who's wrong for you, feeling emotions that don't align with your values, experiencing unusual dreams about someone. These aren't random feelings. They're symptoms of love-binding magic. The mysterious fragrance is evidence of ritual activity targeting your very heart and will. Listen carefully. In the spirit realm, nothing happens by accident. These smells aren't random occurrences. They're divine warning systems alerting you to targeted spiritual warfare. The enemy wants you thinking it's just your imagination, just coincidence, just strange household odor. That's exactly how he keeps you blind while conducting spiritual sabotage against your destiny. Wonder why you attract toxic people. Face relentless spiritual opposition. Experience strange dreams. Struggle financially despite your best efforts. Have confusion in your home. Could it be you've been ignoring the spiritual warning signs God graciously allows you to detect through your physical senses? The enemy wants you normalizing spiritual warfare signals. He wants you glamorizing your spiritual blindness. Rather than waiting until you're under full attack, establish regular spiritual cleansing as preventative warfare. Perform weekly spiritual baths. Maintain active prayer altars. Communicate with your spiritual guides and ancestors and create consistent protection rituals. Always strive to remain spiritually protected. The wisest believers aren't just reactive, they're proactively fortified against every demonic strategy. Stay very smart, very alert, and very aware of the warning signs God provides. When you recognize these smells, act immediately with spiritual protocols that neutralize attacks and send them back to their source. Stay protected, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay extremely powerful in spiritual warfare.